in general, the spice cabinet is the medicine cabinet. So the spices are I would say, the first real medicines of yogis. Before, we've been talking quite a bit about food, and we want to have a much more intimate relationship with our food, with our ecosystem, with where we're sourcing food. We want to start to find out a lot more about that and get much more involved. We also want to know how to use spices in a way that we can correct very simple imbalances. So let's just look at this in terms of some things that are naturally in your medicine cabinet. Some things that are naturally on your spice rack. So we all probably have dried ginger powder on our spice rack. We may have some cumin seeds. We may have some fennel seeds. Cumin, we may have some caraway as well. Fennel, ginger, cumin. We may have some cardamom. I think everybody has black pepper. And what I'd like to do is just look at this from the doshas. What's happening with the energies with these different plants? What relationship do they have to Vata and Pitta and Kapha? Well, ginger is heating, and so it's going to increase Pitta, right? It's going to increase. It's actually going to increase Agni more than it's going to increase Pitta. So there's a slight difference between. Well, there's a lot of differences between Pitta and Agni. Pitta is a force of heat, and Agni is the power of digestion. Ginger's a very interesting spice because it's going to increase the force of heat it's going to increase the power of digestion without actually increasing Pitta. So ginger is heating, but it's considered to be, it's often ranked something like this: Vata, Pitta, and Kapha balancing. And it creates balance. It doesn't actually upset Pitta. In excess, it will. In general, though, ginger also is going to decrease mucus, so it's really going to bring Kapha. It's going to balance Kapha by bringing Kapha down, and it's going to warm Vata up. So if we have gas and bloating from Vata, ginger's going to be great. If we have mucus from Kapha, ginger's going to be great. And even with issues with nausea and with Pitta, ginger can actually be okay, but because it's slightly increasing Agni, we would want to balance it with some spices that are a little bit less heating in nature. Let's look at one that's even more simple than that. Fennel has an interesting energetic. We've been looking at which ways energy moves in the body throughout this course, and the different herbs can make energy, or spices and herbs can make energy move in different ways. So fennel has this really cool quality that it helps energy go down. It increases the downward flow, what we call apana vayu in Ayurveda. And this can be great. Say there's bloating, and we eat food and we just we just feel full, and it almost seems like it gets stuck. I hear this a lot from many people that have a lot of Vata in their constitution. They eat food and it just gets stuck, and their stomach gets distended. You'll hear things like, I just feel like I'm 4 months pregnant by the end of the day, even though I haven't eaten that much, just because there's all this buildup of air creating hardness in the abdomen. Well, fennel sends energy down. It is balancing to both Vata, Pitta, and Kapha. So it's another one of these herbs that any constitution does really well to add it into food or add into diet. Most Indian meals, when you leave an Indian restaurant, they'll give you a little bit of fennel seeds with some sweet candies to chew on your mouth and refresh your breath. But the fennel is also aiding the entire digestive process and helping the meal settle and go downward. It's great to just roast about a cup of fennel seeds in a cast iron skillet, put them let it cool, put them in a glass jar with a lid, and then put that on your table. So after you eat a meal, you take a teaspoon of fennel seeds and chew them up, and notice if that enhances your digestion and your absorption. Okay, let's take a spice like black pepper next. Now, black pepper is going to very much increase Agni. It's very heating. It's going to increase Pitta, and it's going to decrease Vata and Kapha. And so what does that mean? It means if there's excess coldness in the system, it's going to heat it up. And if there's mucus or kapha in the system, it's going to burn it up. If there's excess pitta and the person likes to always add pepper to their food, spicy food, it's going to aggravate their pitta. So we can start to see that spices, we can use them to really design what our experience is like. In excess, black pepper will actually aggravate vata because of its drying effect. Black pepper is very drying to the body. If we look at another pepper that most of us have in our spice cabinet, often we will have cayenne. Now cayenne is going to increase pitta, and it's also going to increase, it's going to also increase vata. And the reason is because of that drying effect. It's going to pull excess moisture out of the tissue. Now, if you have a lot of kapha in your constitution and you're heavy and you're dense and you're mucousy and you're congested and you got this gunk in your sinuses and you're carrying excess weight, cayenne's kind of a miracle because it's going to spice things up and it's going to start to dehydrate you. It's going to pull that excess moisture out of your cells and you'll feel a lot lighter without having all that aqueous, heavy water weight in your system and all the phlegm in your mouth and in just your general throat area.